Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Questions are being raised after a Southern Kentucky man made some strange phone calls, then disappeared. That's the situation surrounding the case of Ricky Griffiths in Wayne County. Police are investigating, but his family fears something sinister happened. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Griffiths' sister about the strange circumstances surrounding the case.
This family is about at their wits' end with many questions on what exactly took place. They believe something happened last week, possibly Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of last week, sometime around July the 4th. That's about the last time they received communication from him.
I'm very convinced that there's a foul play going on. I'm very convinced that there are people who know what has happened to my brother.
Cheyenne Carney says her brother Ricky Griffiths was last seen on July 4th, but in the days after that, he did make some strange phone calls talking about being stuck in the mud or being stuck on a mountain. His car was later found in a lot of mud in the Coopersville area. His phone was found there too, but no sign of him.
The things that have been going through my mind is that somebody's done something to my brother.
She says nothing is making sense, but believes there are people who do know what happened, and it would be easy for them to come forward if they would just tell them what's going on.
You know, he was in recovery for quite some time, a couple of years. And that is a possibility, and the family is well aware of that, but he's still a human. You know, he's still a father, he's still a son, he's still a brother. He's a very hard worker.
The Wayne County Sheriff's Office is actively investigating this, trying to find some clues in what may have taken place. We're also told the family is raising money through a GoFundMe page, hoping to set a reward at some point. Wayne County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Griffiths' family is asking if anyone in the Coopersville area has any security camera footage of a white Cadillac around July 5th. To please let them know, or the police. Emotion overcame Lexington activist Sarah Williams today after a jury found her not guilty on all but one charge. Williams was charged with 5 misdemeanors, including inciting a riot and resisting arrest. Those charges stemmed from racial justice protests in downtown Lexington in the summer of 2020. After 2 days of testimony, a jury deliberated for 2 hours before reaching a verdict.
And the outcome shows us that we live in a community that wants something better. 50 or 60 years ago, I think the outcome would have been different.
Williams was initially facing 5 misdemeanor charges. The charge of being in possession of drug paraphernalia was thrown out before proceedings began. Williams was found not guilty on inciting a riot, resisting arrest, and being in possession of marijuana. She was, however, found guilty of disorderly conduct, which is a $250 fine.
Sunshine continues to break out as we head through the remainder of this evening, and I think we're on our way to a rather clear sky tonight to get a look at that full buck moon. A helicopter coming into land there at London Corbin Airport. They sit at 84 degrees right now. Plenty of sunshine working on through. We've seen the sunshine through the high cloudiness today, but those high clouds beginning to work on out, and you see in the distance where the clouds have been allowed to move out. We see some of those fair weather clouds bubbling up there in the distance. Downtown Whitesburg, all clear for the most part in terms of any rainfall trouble, but still watching a few clouds out there. Low 80s at the moment. Feels like 83 with that dew point at 65, but those winds out of the west-northwest bringing in some slightly more refreshing air. Slightly. Low to mid 80s out there this afternoon. So heat not off the charts, humidity not off the charts, but still noticeable. It's manageable, I would say. It's not like a very, very hot, humid summer day. Storms have mainly stayed well to our east as we've gone through the daytime hours, and those clouds continue to work on out, and we'll continue to see those push out as we head through tonight. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. You'll look at our forecast and see we're down into the 60s for lows tonight. And we warm up quick tomorrow. I've got the very latest on all of that coming up in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Gun control advocates and families impacted by recent tragedies rallied on Capitol Hill Wednesday, calling for stricter gun control laws as well as a ban on assault weapons. CBS's Deborah Alfarone has more from Washington.
The agony and anger of losing loved ones in recent mass shootings nationwide took center stage on Capitol Hill.
Our communities are paying the high price. We're paying the price of our sanity. We're paying the price of our peace.
Just last week, a mass shooter killed 7 people at a July 4th parade in the Chicago suburb of Highland Park.
Highland Park has experienced something that no community should ever experience.
Mary Jo Tinkoff, her husband, and 2 young boys ran for their lives that day as the 21-year-old suspect opened fire using a high-powered military-style assault weapon.
I look over at my husband, I glance at him, and he just screams, "Run."
Newly released surveillance video shows police in action as the gunman in Uvalde, Texas, massacred young students and teachers using an AR-15 style rifle. With President Biden overseas, several of the families impacted by the gun violence in Uvalde and in Highland Park came to the White House to talk to deputy-level staffers about what can be done to prevent future tragedies.
We want a federal ban on assault weapons now.
U.S. lawmakers passed a new gun control bill last month requiring enhanced background checks, among other things, for anyone under 21 buying firearms. But President Biden is pushing for Congress to go further, calling for the return of the assault weapons ban of 1994 that he helped pass when he was a senator.
In that 10 years it was law, mass shootings went down.
The Democratic-led House is expected to pass a new bill, which would create a communications network to inform communities when active shooters are in their area. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
There have been 333 mass shootings so far this year. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive. Controversy in Illinois after the Kendall County Republican Party says they plan to proceed with a gun raffle that includes an AR-15 style rifle similar to the gun used in the Highland Park July 4th parade attack. The local Democratic Party chair says she was stunned to hear guns were being raffled to help raise funds for the GOP. The Kendall County GOP website features a $20 raffle ticket with the chance to win 4 guns, including a Smith & Wesson high-powered semi-automatic rifle. Local Republicans say guns are not the issue when it comes to gun violence, but Democrats say the GOP should reconsider moving ahead with the event.
Every time there's gun violence, they want to make an issue of the Second Amendment, but it's really about the violent criminals and the violence that's pervaded our society.
I think that out of consideration and respect for all the communities involved, the best thing to do at this point in time would be to cancel that raffle.
Republicans say they have been promoting the event for quite some time and have no plans to cancel it. Instead, they believe attacks by Democrats will help them sell more raffle tickets. A black man killed in a hail of police gunfire in Akron, Ohio last month was laid to rest today. Akron declared a citywide day of mourning with the public invited to a viewing prior to the funeral service. CBS's Harvey Biggs reports.
Family, friends and supporters gathered at the Akron Civic Theatre to mourn and share their memories of Jalyn Walker.
He was so sweet and so authentically genuine, and that's what I will always remember about him.
And they vowed to carry those memories forward.
He gonna live through me. I'm never gonna forget him.
The 25-year-old was killed last month after a vehicle and foot chase with police. 8 officers fired on Walker, who was unarmed at the time, but authorities say he fired a shot from his car during the chase and they later recovered a gun. The medical examiner's office reported more than 60 bullet wounds on Walker's body. Attorneys for the family spoke after the funeral.
We are going to hold them accountable for every single bullet that they fired.
There were also calls for the police to remain peaceful in their approach to ongoing protests.
As we commit to nonviolence ourselves in this community and those of us who are here to support this community, the police must do precisely the same.
Monday, Walker's family had requested a 48-hour hold on all protests until they laid his body to rest. Harvey Biggs, CBS News.
The officers involved in Walker's death are on paid administrative leave pending an investigation. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a new survey shows women are feeling more financial stress Experts explain some of the reasons why and have some advice on how to cope.
Plus, the summertime pattern continues in the region as we head through the remainder of the work week and head into the weekend. The full breakdown is on the way next.